friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today we are going to do a library book haul of a lot of books. This isn't even all of them. I have another giant pile sitting next to me. I have leaned so heavily into my library this last year. I found an amazing one near my apartment that I'm obsessed with, and I've maxed out the amount of books I can check out on my library card quite a bit this year. So with that being said, I'm currently maxed out on it now, and I have 12 books waiting for me to pick them up. But yeah, for me, it's just been a great way to read books that I've been wanting to get my hands on, discover new books without having to pay the price of getting the book for me personally. And then if I'm really obsessed with it, which has happened a couple times this year, I put it on the list of books that I want to own personally. But yeah, overall, I've just really enjoyed going to the library. It's such a relaxing, calming space for me, and it's just a great time. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into my latest library haul. Okay, so jumping right in, let's talk about a few fiction books right off the bat. A lot of these I know nothing about, to be honest. I just saw them on the shelves, they piqued my interest, and that's all I know. So we'll start off with The Romanoff Brides, which is by Claire McHugh. I love anything about Anastasia. I think it's such an interesting dynamic point in history. And yeah, so a lot of books that I've picked up or do pick up that are more historical fiction tend to circulate around this family, the Romanoff family. And yeah, it's just one of those pieces, points in history, figures in history I'm very interested in. So this one I believe follows the granddaughters of Queen Victoria and the Hesse sisters. I'm not sure where. Okay, so one of them meets Nikki, heir to the Russian throne. So I think it's following Anastasia's mother. So that's very interesting. Love that. I'll let you guys know once I read it how it all goes. The next is a novella that I've been desperately trying to read for a while. I need to just knock it out. This is The Brides of High Hill by Neve Vo. Obsessed with everything that she writes in this little novella space. And yeah, this is again just I think the fourth or fifth one in the Singing Hills cycle. Just saw it at the library, thought I'd pick it up and give it a quick read. Next, we have another novella. I love picking up novellas from the library. This one I'm interested to read. This is When Among Crows by Veronica Roth, author of the Divergent series. I've read a few things since she's written Divergent. None of them have really done it for me. So I'll be interested to see what I think of this, given as well that it is so short. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what I think of it. Hopefully I like it. We'll see how it goes. Next, we have The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. I forget the concept with this one, but I think this is kind of along the veins of, The Night Circus, Midnight Library, and basically I think with this one, this girl named Cassie ends up getting a book of doors, and it looks like it opens up any door for her. So that seems interesting, and we'll see how it goes. I think this is one that was actually nominated for the Goodreads Choice Awards as well, so I'll be interested to see what people think of this one. Okay, next, something so random, but this is Pumpkin Spice Puppy by Lauren Berenson. And this just looked like a cute, quick read for the fall season. I'm almost decorating for Christmas, so it's kind of the end of when I can be reading this one, but I'm still intrigued to try it. It seems like a really, really quick read, so I just figured it'd be something cute for the end of fall season. Next, I have I think this is technically middle grade. This is Cursed of the Elgrass blog by Mary Everline. This one just seemed like one that I was pretty interested in. I don't really remember the concept of it, but this is basically about a girl who investigates a bog near her house and has a curse put on her family, I believe. So, or on the bog itself, I'm not quite entirely sure. But these are always fun to read. There always tends to be pretty quick reads. This one I think was pretty highly recommended from what I remember. And yeah, excited to check it out. Okay, let's rapid fire through some nonfiction that I'm very excited about. This first one is Dinosaurs at the Dinner Party. This, I guess, is kind of how the discovery of the dinosaurs happened, which I'm very interested to find out about. This one I've actually seen quite a few people read and really enjoy, so I love a nonfiction about something so random and niche, so I think this one will be a very good time, and I'm very excited for that one. Next is It's Not Hysteria, Everything You Need to Know About Your Reproductive Health, But We're Never Told. I'm very intrigued in these types of copies of books, just trying to learn more about health and wealth and my body, and I'll be interested to see what this one has to say. This is also by Karen Tang, MD. Okay, next, another actually fiction novel. This is First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. This was actually a book club pick for one of my book clubs that I'm a part of, and didn't get a chance to get around to it, but I've definitely been leaning more into the thrillers lately and enjoying them, so I'm very intrigued to see how this one goes. From what I remember, the book club did really enjoy it, so I'm interested to check this one out. It's also a Reese book club pick, which probably means it's getting turned into a show or a movie or something at some point in time. Okay, let's switch back over to nonfiction. Talking about another point in history that I'm very interested in for the kind of selfish purpose that it did happen on my birthday. Anything regarding the Titanic, I'm very intrigued in reading, learning, understanding. Obviously love the Titanic movie, which obviously is more of a fictional type of dynamic with that, but I just think it's a very tragic thing that happened in history, so learning about it, I find it fascinating. So this is All That to Be Said, Sinkable, Obsession, the Deep Sea, and the Shipwreck of the Titanic by Daniel Stone. I would love, if I ever could, I mean, I know what all that happened with the submarines and the Titanic, but I would love to be able to one day see it. I don't think that's ever going to be possible in my lifetime, but I just think that shipwreck is so interesting, and I think this will teach me a little bit more about it. Okay, next, another random one. This is Gory Details, Adventures from the Dark Side of Science. I have no answers for why I pick up these things. They intrigue me. I have no answers. But this basically seems like it follows a similar path to like a Mary Roach type of story, just digging into the more unspoken of sides of science that I think are so interesting to me. I love learning fun facts about just, again, random points in history, facts about different things that just aren't highly or spoken about very much. So yeah, this one basically I think follows the taboo, the gross, and the morbid realities of our bodies in the universe, from the world's most murderous mammals to the research biologist who stung himself with every conceivable insect. So I think, yeah, it's gonna follow some pretty interesting topics. It'll probably be pretty disgusting, but I think it'll be a good time. Okay, next, random. Again, I love learning. This is Eight-Legged Wonders, The Surprising Life of Spiders by James O'Hanlon. Hanlon. I don't like spiders at all. However, I think learning about something definitely takes the fear out of it and the misjudgment and misunderstanding. So I think the more we can learn about things in this life, the better. Spiders being one of them. So there you go. This should be interesting. It also seems like a pretty quick read, and I'm intrigued by them. Also, Charlotte's Web was one of my favorite childhood stories growing up, so in a weird way I do have a soft spot for the spiders of the world, so we'll see how this one goes. Okay, and before we switch into the next segment, this is Lost to Time. This is Unforgettable Stories That History Forgot by Martin W. Sandler. This, again, I think was just things that the back caught me when it was talking about this. The history you didn't learn in school. Were the Wright brothers the first to fly? Did Paul Revere perform the most important midnight ride in the American Revolution? Was the Titanic the greatest peacetime maritime disaster? The answers may surprise you. Lost to Time highlights a number of history's most fascinating, consequential, but justly unforgotten people and events. I think this is going to be fascinating. I'm very, again, intrigued in the way that we tend to spin history and how it all actually unfolded. And I think this will be a good read, a good time. Okay, last stack. This is a big one. This is going to be a bunch of just random, so we're just going to kind of rapid fire through this. This is Before We Say Goodbye by Toshikazu Kamaguchi. This is the fourth book in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. I finally just finished the third one and enjoyed it, so I do want to continue in the series. This basically follows a cafe where you can time travel, which is a fascinating concept with a bunch of rules involved. I think it's so cute. I've really been enjoying translated Japanese literature this year, and yeah, I think this will be a good one, a very cute one. They tend to be pretty quick reads as well, so yeah, I think this will be good. Next, I have Banksy, a graphic novel. I actually taught my dad who Banksy was when I was in New York this last weekend visiting my brother. But yeah, this one I think basically just follows two kids that are like trying to learn or replicate Banksy's art, and I think this one will be really good. I love Banksy's art. I think his stuff is so interesting, so unique. And yeah, I just thought this was kind of a fun random graphic novel to pick up. Speaking of Niveau, I know we talked about her earlier in the video. This is The City in Glass. I think this is her newest not graphic novel, novella that came out earlier this year. I still haven't had a chance to get my hands on it, so when I saw it at the library, definitely wanted to pick it up. Again, I love her books. They're just so good, and I think this is going to be a totally different world from the Singing Hills saga, so I'm excited to pick this up and see what it's all about. Okay, next, again, switching over into more nonfiction. I have no explanation, guys. Again, really, I don't. This is Big Meg. This is the story of the largest and most mysterious predator that ever lived by Tim and Emma Flannery. This basically is going to teach me all about the Megalodon. So this is actually something I'm very interested in for more of a random idea. My friends that go scuba diving have actually found megalodon teeth over off of the coast of Florida, so I think it's definitely something interesting, and I'm actually planning on going scuba diving there coming in December, so I'm hoping to actually find some teeth myself, which I think would be kind of gnarly and crazy to find. But yeah, very interested, intrigued, and just seems like it'll be a quick read, so I'm hoping that I can fly through this and learn some more fun facts. Okay, next, again, something health, body, fitness-wise, wanting to learn more about. This is The Fast by John Oakes. This is the history, science, philosophy, and promise of doing without. My boyfriend is really big into fasting. He's very health conscious, which is probably why I'm starting to get more into it in this last couple years. But I was really intrigued to learn just more about it because he's very passionate about it. So I personally am not the best at fasting. I can't really do it. It gives me a headache. So I think just learning more about it would be really interesting because it is such a cultural dynamic too as well. And just going back super far, back to, I think, I don't even know. I'll learn about it in this book. But yeah, excited to learn more about it and think it'll be very interesting. Okay, next, for something on a totally different end of the spectrum, this is Throne of the Fallen by Kerri Maniscalco. I did not realize that she was also the author of the Jack the Ripper series. I read that probably back in college and wasn't my favorite, so I'm going to be interested to see how I like this one because I know this one is a huge book talk favorite for just some of that, you know, more on the spicy side of life. But yeah, this is a chunk of a book. I don't know when I'm going to get around to it with all of the other things that I need to read. But yeah, I am intrigued in this one. I do want to check it out because I know it's so popular. And I think the second one already came out or is coming out. So definitely want to get my hands and eyes on this one. So I think it'll be interesting. Okay. Now let's talk about some very random nonfiction to wrap it all up. Again, talking about the Titanic, very on brand for me this haul. This is Titanic, Fortune, and Fate, letters, mementos, and personal effects from those who were sailed on the lost ships. So I've been actually to a Titanic display where they had artifacts from the actual wreck, and I found it so fascinating. But yeah, I think this one's just a really high level overview of like some of the things they found, some of the people that were on the ship, some ways that it was connected. I just think it'll be really interesting to read from more of a visual standpoint. Like that's just so interesting to me. And yeah, again, just a period in history that I'm very intrigued by and want to know more about. Okay, next, so random, other side of the spectrum. This is 100 places to see or places to go before they disappear. I think this will be fascinating. I am such a huge traveler. I love to travel and to see places that I can see before they disappear or before time erases them or before history wipes them out, I think will be a very interesting perspective. I'm sure there's a lot of places in here I've never even heard of. Maybe some places I've even already gotten to go see. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just thinking from this one from a cool visual flip through perspective. Let's see. Let's open to a random page. I think that's Chicago. Yeah, place I've already been, check it off the list. But yeah, this I think is a super fun kind of just coffee table style book that I love reading through coffee table books. I don't know if that's just me, but I think having them to actually be able the ones that you want to read through are pretty cool. So that's why I got that one. Okay. Breathe. Okay, and the last one that I got, so random, but I'm very interested in this. This is Be Your Own Shaman, a field guide to utilize 101 of the world's most healing plants by Jane Barstow Christian. I think this is a very interesting concept. I picked this up, got very excited about it. I've definitely been trying to lean more into the holistic side of things in the last couple years, just with using what nature and God has given us to utilize here on this earth. And yeah, just really interested to see what this has to say, what things they have to learn about. I'm just sort of barely getting into the world of like plants and green things. I used to have a horrible green thumb, and I've kind of started to tweak it to be a little bit better in the last couple years, but I just think being able to be a little bit more holistic and have that mix of just modern medicine and holistic remedies, I think is kind of the best of both worlds personally, but that's just me. So yeah, I'll just be interested to flip through this, see what it says, see if there's any things I can take away from it for moving forward, learn a few fun facts, and yeah, as always, that's kind of my idea with these kinds of things, is take what applies, leave the rest behind, and yeah, I think that tends to work for a lot of things. So yeah, I know that was a ton of books. I hope you guys enjoyed this super random library haul. Let me know what ones you're interested in hearing me talk about in future videos. And yeah, let me know if there's anything you guys are excited to read in the next couple weeks before the year is over. I can't even believe 2024 is almost done. It's crazy. I don't know where this year went. But yeah, overall, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did like it. Subscribe to see more of my face, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!